Now, about 109,000 security operators are casting their ballot as we speak. We have less than 2 hours to the end of polls, by which time we'll bring you a special simulcast where we broadcast both radio and television together to bring you an update of what's been happening and the analysis as it goes. But let's start by taking you around the country for what's happening. You know what's been happening right now. Tema East has been heated. We understand that a few issues happened up in the upper west region. We'll bring you details because it was subsequently resolved. But right now, let's begin with the upper east region, where Electoral Commission officials took their time to create markings on the ground to ensure that social distancing was observed during the special voting there. Now, voting over there has been smooth at the premises of the House of Chiefs with no incident so far. 831 persons are expected to cast their vote by end of day in the Bolgatanga Central constituency. About half the number have voted so far. Albert Sori is our man on the ground, and he joins us with the latest. Hello, Albert. Well, I do have, I think, about 5 of our correspondents online, as you can see there. Albert, I'm going to start with you. What is the latest?
Yes, Gifty. So, as at this time, we have more than 650 of the voters who are expected to vote today. Remember, in the Bolgatanga Central constituency, 831 special voters will be casting their ballot by the end of the day today. So more than 650 of them have voted so far. There's been no incidents whatsoever. The only thing was the Electoral Commission officials are trying to make sure that social distancing is maintained. Now, in the morning, what I realized while I was there was that even though the Electoral Commission officials kept telling people to maintain the social distancing, some people seem to often forget, and then they will just get crowded, in the queue. So after some time, towards 10 a.m., when the numbers had reduced a little bit, they then took time to just draw some lines on the ground, sort of 6 meters apart, just to make sure that people stand on the lines, on those lines they drew, in the queue, so that social distancing is maintained.
Very well.
So then you also have the one of the officials, checking the temperature of voters who arrived there, ensure that they washed their hands, put on their face masks before they joined the queue. So it's been basically smooth in Bolga Central. Across the Upper East region, we are expecting 5,950 special voters to cast their ballots today. And through the reporters who will be covering the various constituencies for us as well in the Upper East region, we've been checking with them, and the indications are that so far across the region, there has been no major incident whatsoever. It's been generally smooth.
Albert, thank you very much. We have barely 2 hours to closing of polls. We certainly will be raising you back online. So let me leave you to rest for us over there. Let's move to the Upper West region, where the regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party, SB Kangbere, was expressed satisfaction over the conduct of the special voting exercise there. A total of 3,459 persons are expected to cast their ballot in that region. And speaking to us earlier, he stated that he was really impressed with the orderly manner of the process. We'll soon hear him, but before that, let's speak to our correspondent Rafiq Salam, who has been speaking to him. But Rafiq, take us through how the day has gone so far. It's almost less than about 2 hours where the polls close. What's been happening so far? Rafiq, looks like you are muted. Let's hear the chairman of the NPP who spoke to him earlier.
Oh, it's, what I can see so far is so good, and I'm sure that by the end of the day we'll be smiling.
You talk about the process so far. Is it okay?
It's okay from what I have seen. No hitches, no foul talk. Everything seems to be going well. So yeah, I'm pleased with what is happening so far.
In terms of safety protocols for COVID-19, you observe that?
Well, you can see that I'm fully masked, and so are you. So I would say yes, to a large degree, yes.
over 90% of the people who are supposed to vote here, 8, 6, 7 people are supposed to vote here. Majority of them, 90% of them are security personnel.
Okay.
But do you think that it's enough? Security here is okay?
I think the security is okay. I don't see any reason to doubt that. I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
What other message do you have for us that I didn't ask you about?
Okay. But you journalists, I'm sure you are going to do a fair and impartial reporting. And as far as the personnel, those coming to vote, I believe that everybody is responsible enough that they do their civic duty properly without fear or favor. So we are on course. You know that the victory is ours. So I'm not panicking at all.
Fair and impactful reporting it shall be. Let's hear from the WA Central Member of Parliament, Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpo. He's also saying that he's impressed with the process so far. This was as of the time that my colleague Rafiq Salam spoke to him. Listen.
I've noticed an orderly process here, but just in one of the stations, there's a complaint that people have multiple names appearing on the register, which is something of a serious concern. Otherwise, I think that so far so good in the process. There's order and there's discipline.
What about the COVID safety protocols?
I can see that social distancing is one thing that is lacking. There's no social distancing, but people are trying hard to wear masks. Only a few come here without masks. And maybe it's a character of WA where mask wearing is not one of the features. One of the things that we observe very much. But on the whole, it's good.
Let's stay with the Savannah region. We'll tell you what's been happening there. What you heard there was Rashid Pelpo, who was raising some concerns about some 2 names that seem to have appeared twice there. Let me take you to OT region. Peter Seno is standing by. Peter, what's happening? Hello, Peter, can you hear me? Peter, I think you are muted.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, Peter,
okay.
Go ahead.
So far, yeah, 138 persons of the security and other special duty voters have cast their ballot so far. Out of 185 for where I am monitoring now. The region has 2,795 persons who are supposed to cast their vote in the region. But I'm monitoring issues, situation from the Akan constituency here in the OT region, where 138 have cast their ballot so far. For COVID-19 protocols, as we indicated earlier, everything has been smooth and easy officials here and show. But even those who come without nose or face mask have been provided with one to wear before they enter the yard proper. There's one man stationed at the entrance who says that hand washing and then the temperature is checked before they enter the main yard to go through the process to take their ballot papers and cast their vote. But before I let go of you, I have representatives of the MPP and then the NDC here who want to share their opinion.
Okay, let's make that
so far.
Let's make that brief. Let's make that brief as we need to cross over to the other
briefly, 1 minute.
regions.
So the process so far, what is your impression?
Well, everything has been very smooth, and then we are hoping that it will continue till the end.
You are monitoring. You have been here since morning.
Yeah.
The machines and then everything. You are okay with it?
Yeah, I'm okay with the machine. The machine is working well, so I don't have any problem with the machines and then the procedure. Everything is going on.
Right. So, that is the NDC. Let me have the MPP representative here speak to us. What is your impression so far with the process?
Everything is okay. It's going on smoothly.
So, what do you hope to see on election day?
We hope to see the same thing appear on the election day.
All right. So, Gifted, that has been some representatives. I mean, the MPP and the NDC party agents who are here monitoring issues for their party here in the Akan constituency, Gifted.
I said, in less than 2 hours, we'll be crossing over once again to find out when the polls actually close. So I'll leave you to rest on that one. Thank you. We'll still stay in that part of the country. We're going right now to the Volta region. Ivy said Toji. Ivy says 7,325 people were expected to vote in her area. Ivy is joining us via Zoom as well. Hello, Ivy. Ivy, there were a few people who could not find their names on the register at Ho West. Tell us how that was resolved.
Yes, so at the time we were leaving Ho West, that this security men still couldn't find their names in the register. They did everything.
Ivy, I am losing you.
Through the phone, but nothing.
Ivy, I'm losing you, but what I'm hearing you say is that a while ago when you left home, okay, someone on Zoom has their sound up.
So they couldn't find their names in the register, and it was not rectified because according to the EC officials, there was nothing they could do about it. So after the time we were leaving, the security officers had to leave the place because there was nothing the EC officers could do about the issue. There were 3 security officers who couldn't find their names on the register.
So those 3 people have not been able to vote. Did they go back home?
Yes, after the time we were there, they were not able to cast their votes.
Okay. Well, hopefully they will be able to resolve that before next week. Ivy, thank you very much. Ivy Setoji with her update for us in the Volta region. She says that at the particular polling station she reported from, 3 of the security officers were unable to cast their ballot because their names were not found in the system. Let's go to Savannah region. Isaac Nonya is there. Over there as well, we were told that the security personnel was turned away for non-adherence to the COVID-19 protocols at the Damongo police station, where voters, including some 3 security officials, were those people who became victims to that situation. Let me hear from our correspondent Isaac Nonya. Isaac, how was that resolved? Did they finally get masks? I believe that was a problem. Isaac, you are muted, so unmute and let's hear you.
Can you hear me?
I do. Please go ahead. Tell us how the issue was resolved. The 3 officers who were turned away, did they come back with masks to vote?
Yes, they did come back due to the help of their colleagues who were just by the police station by coming out with 3 of the no masks for them to be able to vote. Beyond that, the EC got to realize that the number keep on increasing. So what they could do was to purchase or to supply the no mask by themselves. So all those who came after these 3 security officers will provide them with no masks. And I will speak, that incident has stopped. One other incident that sparked some heated argument among the bodies here, the NDC, NPP, and then EC, has to do with a proxy voter who also qualifies as a special voter. After voting, he wanted to vote as proxy for another person who's currently not in the country, but that was protested by the NDC. But it took the EC to explain to them that a said proxy voter is equally a special voter as the owner of the voter. So when he was asked to be verified, I think he sailed through the verification machine and was allowed to vote. But the NDC on their part saying no. When there's not a verification machine at the police station, they were going to protest. So I will speak now. They are preparing to protest over the proxy voting, which they say is new to them, because if you look at the processes so far, what they were taken through before today, it was spelled out to them that there wouldn't be anything like a proxy voter register at the police station. And the officer who came and voted was not supposed to vote because he was not taken through and for his name to be seen as a proxy voter. The EC said they are satisfied because including the owner of the voter, the vote came to EC office, they were taken through and all the necessary documents were put in place. And surely, when he turned out here today, he came with a document showing that he was instructed by the said voter, owner of the vote to come and cast the vote on his behalf as a proxy voter. So
I will jump in there. I will jump in there, Isaac. I will come back to you when you tell us what's behind you. But let's hear the assembly member for the Canteen electoral area, Anapansa Ibrahima, who shared his views on the developments you've just told us about. Allow me to apologize for that. We'll bring you that soundbite subsequently. But Isaac, let's wrap up with you. You wanted to show me something going on behind you?
Yes, I wanted to say that the turnout has been very good, despite the slow turnout in the morning. We are told that those who are still holding the whole process may be security officials who are on duty outside the district. And some of the officials, the agents, are surprised that up to now they have not finished casting their vote because the number is limited, 494, and as we speak, 435 have cast their vote. So as to why there are about 60, 61 have not come out to cast their vote for them to close is why they're all wondering. But the process has been very smooth, and so far, all the party agents, MPP, NDC, and the independent candidate have all no complaint except the verification, the proxy voting, which has to do with both MPP and NDC arguing over it.
Thank you very much. Isaac Nonyade is our correspondent in the Savannah region. Well, a lot is happening across. Let me take you to the central region. Richard Kojonyako is our man on the ground. He's been monitoring the process there. Richard, what's happening in central region?
Well, Gifty, just as has been indicated across the country, in the central region, it is so. The voting actually started at 7. I visited the commanded Negwa for a Brim center at the district police service center. I've also been at the Cape Coast South constituency and the Cape Coast North constituency. At the Cape Coast South constituency, what we witnessed was that a few of the security personnel did not find their names in the special voting list. And so the regional police commander was alerted. And so she told me that she's spoken with the IGP, and these men who did not find their names in the voters register would go and vote on the 7th of December at their various polling stations. So these persons will be stationed in their polling station. They will not be posted elsewhere, but they would be posted where they can vote. But apart from that, everything has gone on smoothly. I've been speaking with a party agent for the MPP, for the NDC. They seem satisfied with everything that has gone on here. Here at the Cape Coast South constituency, where the voting is underway at the police headquarters here, out of the 430 people that are expected to cast their ballots, as of now, 1 hour 30 minutes to close polls, 348 people have cast their ballot, and so there are no queues here. The EC officials are just resting here. You can see them. They are currently resting, taking some rest, and the party people are also waiting under the tree. Same is happening at the Cape Coast North constituency, where the voting is also being done at the Ghana National Fire Service. We've been speaking with the director of the electoral services for the region, and then they say that everything is under control. A short while ago, the director of electoral services for the EC, Dr. Srubokoku, in fact, he votes here, and so he came to cast his ballot here as well. So everything is under control. All
right. It looks like a very calm situation there for you. Richard, thank you. When polls close, we'll certainly come to you. But it's not as calm as it is over there at the Krowo constituency. I'll be taking you to northeast, where Elias Utanko is standing by, and to the northern region, where Martina Bukri is standing by. But this is something that's just developing, something that's coming in right now. A bit of confusion happening at the Krowo constituency. My colleague Ernest Menu is on the ground. Ernest, tell us about it. Hello, Ernest.
Hello, Gifty, can you hear me?
I hear you now. Please tell us what's happening in Krowo.
Yeah, so a while ago, there was some confusion between the agents and let me say that largely the NPP and the NDC. Some of the NDC agents here had accused a lady of taking a shot of her ballot. And of course, we had some NPP party faithful jump to her defense, and that created confusion. The police had to come in. The lady, as I speak to you, is being interrogated, and this is the third incident, or we are recording of such, people taking a shot of their ballot papers. You know, the ballot is supposed to be cast in secret. Your vote is supposed to be a secret, but then there are people who are taking a shot of their ballot.
Right, and let me just jump in there. I think that there has been a little bit of a contention with it, and I heard over the weekend Dr. Sribo Kweku indicates that people are now allowed to use their mobile phones, I think, in the box. But then the issue also raised at the time by something who was talking to him then that the law says it is secret, but it doesn't prevent people from showing it if they want to. So I think a little bit of contention there. But was this lady... I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but those who are alleging that she did she take the phone into the box?
Yes, she had her phone, according to those who alleged. In fact, I have spoken to the presiding officer. There are two polling stations here because of the numbers, so that we have A and B. The presiding officer says, yes, she was seen with her phone. The police is interrogating the matter. She doesn't want to grant an interview yet. Once they resolve it, should give me full briefing of what has happened with this third case and the first two cases. And so as we speak, you see there are two people behind bars who the police is yet to take action on. One of them admitted to it. They have seen the evidence on the phone. The other is a bit of a contention, I should say, and then this third incident.
Interesting. But so far, how has the process been in the areas that you have visited?
Well, it's been quite smooth so far. For the Krowo constituency, I've been here for close to 2 hours, or let me say an hour and a half now, and it was smooth until this incident. When I got here, the first two incidents of people taking a shot of their ballot had been recorded already, and I got a briefing just before I got here, and then this one. But when you go to La, for instance, because of the huge numbers, over 3,000 electorates over there, they have about 6 polling stations there, labeled A to F, and the electoral officials there have managed to group them alphabetically so that it is easy for the police officers. And you can understand, Gifty, because of the barracks, because we have the camp also in that enclave, the Ladade Kotopon has a lot of security installations. And so there are a lot of security personnel, high-ranking security, military, police officials, all of them casting their ballots there. It's been smooth because of the integration, because of the division actually they have done, and that has made the process smooth so far. And as at midday when I was, reporting, more than half of the people have voted, and so it's been smooth. Although the Jojo, interestingly, has been very smooth. Korle Korte as well. In fact, at Korle Korte, the candidate, the NPP parliamentary candidate, Lawyer Prince Abuaje, is the agent for the presidential election. And so he himself is representing President Akufo-Addo in the constituency. And Bernard Okoboy is representing himself at the Teshi polling station where I visited before moving here to Krowo. So it's been smooth so far, and we only had this incident of a bit of confusion here at Krowo.
Certainly, it's barely 2 hours. I think, let's see. Yeah, barely 2 hours to the close of polls. We'll certainly come back to you. Thank you very much. Ernest Menu there in the Krowo constituency, where a little bit of confusion occurred a short while ago. We understand that someone is being interrogated at the moment for trying to take a photo of the vote that she cast. I'm going to take you now to the northeast region. We have Eliasu Tanku standing by. Now that region is where Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will be voting. Eliasu, what can you report? Eliasu, do go ahead. We're listening to you. Eliasu, you are muted, so I see you talking, but we can't hear you.
Yes, Gifty, I'm saying it has been very smooth here in the Wale constituency, where we have some 160 people expected to vote or are currently voting in this particular constituency. After the time I checked, over 130 people have cast their vote. And the interesting development we are getting from the Yagaba Kobore constituency, where you remember on Sunday there was violence between supporters of the NDC and MPP. Our sources within the police said even though the voting is ongoing in that particular constituency, about 166 people are expected to vote in that particular area. But according to police, they have intensified security in the area because of some bit of tension between the supporters of the MPP and NDC in the area. What we are learning is that members of the MPP are still angry by the fact that some supporters of the NDC raided the home of the parliamentary candidate and destroyed some properties. They are particularly angry about the destruction of 2 pickup vehicles that have been running operations for the party in that particular constituency. They are also very angry about the destruction of the radio station in that particular community belonging to the MPP. And so because of this, the police said that they have intensified patrol in the area. They have military and police personnel standing by and ensuring that this particular tension will not spiral out of control. But largely, touching base with our correspondent, our reporters in the various constituencies, they have reported a very peaceful elections in all the 6 constituencies across the region.
I see you're trying to catch your breath under the mask there, Elias. Thank you very much. We'll leave you. We'll come back to you when the polls close in less than 2 hours. That will happen. Let me take you to the northern region. Martina Bugri has been hanging on for a while. Martina, appreciate the patience there. Tell us what's been happening. You've been reporting things since election brief. What has changed in your area?
Nothing has changed. It's still the same process, very smooth and peaceful. I must say that a lot of people have turned out to cast their vote. Take, for instance, the Tamale South constituency. There are 201 people who are supposed to vote. We have 174 who have cast their votes. At the Tamale Central, we have 664, and so far 525 have cast their votes. When you go to the Sanegu constituency, 622 people are on the register and 425 have registered, have voted so far. I must say that people have turned out massively to cast their vote. It's been a smooth process. All the protocols of COVID-19 being enforced. Those who came in without masks were sent away, and those who wanted to actually vote would have to look for their mask and come back and vote. And so generally, it's been a peaceful day in the northern region capital, Tamale.
Back to you when the polls close. Martina, thank you. Let me bring you to the Upper West region. Rafiq Salam has been talking to Mr. Rashid Pelpo, as well as the NPP's chairperson there. Rafiq, what more can you report?
The guys said
hello,
the yam
Rafiq.
Is all.
Okay, this is Zoom for you. You get to hear talks about yam, even when we're talking about the elections. But let's quickly go to Rafiq and get what's been happening there. Rafiq, do tell us what's happening.
Hello, Gifty, are you hearing me?
I do hear you. Let's go ahead.
Okay, in the Upper West region here, we have 11 constituencies here and 12 polling centers in the Upper West region here. And I can report to you that in the Upper West region here, a total of 3,459 persons are expected to cast their ballot today. And so in the West Central constituency, 2 polling centers, both of them located around the West Circuit Court. So we have 1A and then 1B. So in 1A, we're having a total of 434 persons expected to cast their ballot. And as I speak to you now, a total of 408, as I speak to you now, a total of 380 have so far cast their ballot in 1A. And so in also 1B, a total of 350 have so far cast their ballot. And so There is generally peaceful here in the Upper West region, as I reported to you. We have some big source of the parties come around to see how the process is moving, and they are moving from one constituency to the other. So we had the regional chairman of the NPP, SD Kangbada, who came around and said that he was happy with the process so far, and so too was the incumbent member of parliament for West Central, Dr. Rashida Sentirbo. So I can report to you that in the Upper West region here, the situation is peaceful and calm, and everything is going on smoothly and successful.
Thank you, Rafiq. Rafiq there. We'll be catching up with him again. But let me go to the Bono East region. Anas Sabit is our man there. Anas, I understand that over there as well, the NPP seems to be impressed with the process so far. Does the NDC there agree?
They do. I've been engaging constituency and then regional executives of both parties, and none of them has kind of expressed any dissatisfaction with the process so far. They all believe what this is doing today if same should be replicated on the election day. The general election will be entirely peaceful. So as it stands, both parties, the NPP plus the PNC and the GUM, that's Boom and PPP, who were on the ground throughout, have expressed satisfaction with the exercise so far. It's been largely very peaceful here in the Bono region.
Thank you very much for that update as well. This is your election headquarters. This is the Pulse with me, Gifty and Opia. We've been touching base with our correspondent. In fact, we've done most of them, I should say.